Misfit Nation.
Well, because we're not talking about the election yet.
Right.
But, because I said on Facebook, right? This whole thing of where leftists fucking bitched and complained and rioted and burned and looted and fucking literally cried for 4 years straight, for every single day for 4 years straight. And now they have the audacity to call Donald Trump a sore loser. Really? And also, that shows also the brainwashing. They're calling him a sore loser, and we don't even know who won yet. You know what I mean? So it's just, I had people, I had somebody wish COVID on me and my family. They go,
Really?
I blame every COVID death on you because you voted for Donald Trump, and tagged me in the post.
Really?
So everybody could see. Yeah, like it was very.
I loved your response to her too.
Yeah.
It was a very polite fuck off. What the fuck are you?
Yeah. I fashioned it really well.
You really did, bro. It would have been a straight fuck off for me.
Well, because it's a family friend.
That's where they would have got it.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with that, though.
But it's
I
like
love the responses too, bro.
Yeah.
But then also, I don't feel that kind of like, I don't have that anger towards it. It's just like, I feel bad for you. You know what I mean? Like,
people that they put all their stock into their team, and they just want their team.
They don't realize,
and they're winning.
Leftists don't realize how emotional they are, to the point where when you pinpoint their emotion, it's like it never happened. They're like, I'll never do that. I'll never say that. I'll never be that way. And you do it all the time.
Let me show you how emotional they are, right? Them calling us snowflakes is being snowflakes. They were so quick to pull that out. Like, you've been calling us snowflakes before. So us just like saying, hey, we want a fair election and we want to make sure everything's on the up and up. That's being a snowflake now.
Now,
wait, hold on. The people, the leftists who are the defenders of democracy are mad that we want a fair election. All right, suck a dick. Go fuck yourself.
I like that. The defenders of democracy. She gets some artwork for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's been word that Trump wanted like a not a recount. It wasn't that. What I'm trying to say is the mail-in ballots. So I heard something about Trump saying the mail-in ballots that he told the supporters not to use it. When we covered it earlier, that wasn't true. He actually told his supporters, do the mail-in thing, but then go to the polls and see if we can do it again just to make sure your vote goes through. Because you should be able to do that, right? Yeah. So that I just want to throw that argument out because I saw that a lot.
Well, again,
that's not true.
They're also twisting that he's trying to stop counts votes from being counted, and that's not his like they're arguing that he's trying to stop mail-in ballots from being counted because he didn't like it, and that's not what the fuck he's doing. He's saying that if your vote was casted after the 3rd, which is the deadline for voting, then it shouldn't be counted, which we should all agree with.
And that's why he's saying stop the count.
Yes, because but also because there was questionable fraud going on. I'm not saying there was fraud going on, and I'll be honest, I think it's looking more like he's gonna lose, which fucking saddens me. But if what I'm saying is I can accept Donald Trump losing if I know for sure it's fair. I know for sure he didn't get fucked, and he didn't actually predict that this was gonna happen. You know what I mean? But if we're seeing things that are like, okay, they fucked up on writing a extra zero in for Joe Biden, where it's now 10,000 instead of 1,000.
Right.
It's like, oh, we have to correct that. But it's like, yeah, but if we never said anything, you wouldn't have corrected it. And what's crazy is these numbers, if you look at the, we'll look at the actual numbers in a little bit, but this election wasn't a landslide on either side, right?
It was really close. That's why it's still going on.
Yeah.
It was really close, yeah.
And not even just in the electorals, but if you look at like states, right? A lot of these states were called where it was like within 1,000 votes. 5,000 votes.
Really?
10,000 votes.
10,000
Like,
votes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll actually pull up the numbers because I think it's important.
I think Nevada is the one that's like 10,000 votes.
So
Wow.
Nevada's within, what's that? 11, 12, probably 20,000, I guess. Let's just round around. This one was 100, well, not 100, 30,000, I would say. Georgia, which flipped.
Georgia flipped. That's big. That's big.
This one's within, what's that? 4,000. Exactly 4,000.
Now,
wait, sorry. This one also Pennsylvania, which is within 35,000. Am I counting wrong? 33,000.
33.
So my point is this, though, is I'm not saying there's fraud going on because I don't know. There is supposed evidence in even like local elections and shit like that. What I'm saying, though, is there is calling for a recount is very reasonable looking at how close this shit is. And if there are like human errors, let's just call them human errors. Let's not point fingers and call it fraud yet, right?
Okay.
If there is a human error where somebody put the comma in the wrong place or did that
should be adjusted.
That, and not only that, that could have theoretically decided our election.
Oh, if it was just one person.
Because it's so close.
Right, got you.
That one of them was within 1,000, and it's a swing state. All these are like swing states now. So like, for instance, let's look at Michigan, which we were all shocked that Michigan had. So that's what, about, I'd say 150,000. But out of, what's that, 5 million votes? Yeah. I'm not saying that might be too much for human error.
I mean, look.
But there is talks about Michigan having some kind of fraud going on. And we've been keeping our eye on it.
The voter turnout for Black people was astronomically higher than it was last time around. So I think that has a lot to do, especially with Michigan and how things are over there, you know, with the crime and the water being bad and stuff like that. So it's like I can see where a lot of people go out for him in Michigan and stuff like that. Georgia was the big surprise, but it's there's a predominant wealthy Black constituent out there, and they're like voting Biden too. So it's like you can never really tell which state is gonna pop, but if Biden has Black people with him, then I think that has a lot to do with why. And the numbers for Black women too, they were up there too. It's like all of them went out. It was like 90-some% voted Biden and stuff like that. So it definitely is closer than what people are making it seem. And if this was on the side of Trump, people would be saying the exact same things that we're saying about Trump. You know what I'm saying? They should. Joe Biden should get a recount. It's close. You know, it's too early to call it. You know, so.
And I truly don't think if Biden asked for a recount, I truly don't think we would probably say shit about it, but we would not be complaining and bitching about him asking for a recount. I think most Trump supporters were like, yeah, go ahead. Give us a fuck. And the fact that's it's weird because I've been having arguments with leftists all day about like, hey, we just want a fair election. You're being a snowflake. All right, I guess. It's like I told somebody, I'm like, look, you're jumping the gun on the snowflake thing. Just relax a little bit. You might have 4 years. Just
it's not even good comedic timing. Right,
you're not even using it right. It's our fucking word. Dummies.
Gotta give it time. They've been out of office for a minute. They don't know how to insult.
Yeah. So
you want to call us sore losers? Look, you're sore winners. I learned that in baseball. You could be a sore winner.
So what do you guys think the country will look like if Biden actually does this? Well, actually, before we get to that, because I kind of want to talk about mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots is not a new thing, so people have done it before. But with the coronavirus pandemic, nobody wants to actually like come out and vote, and I think it's definitely an easier way for people to do a vote for you. And remember earlier in the election, it was of my beliefs that most Trump supporters were going to go to the polls and actually cast their vote in person. I didn't really think anybody was going to mail in vote. So I think that's the real big difference, is that a lot of Democrats mail in voted. So a lot more people didn't have to even leave their house, or if they did, they had to go to a post office.
Well, here's the thing: is people are arguing that Trump supporters and Trump is just mad that he lost so big, and it's like he's not losing big. It's close.
Right.
It's within thousands of votes. Like, so that's not what the anger is. You get what I'm saying? I think
it's not the end all.
Again, it's just like before the election. Leftists are trying to have a different argument than the right wing are having. Like they're trying to have the argument that they would have. You get what I'm saying? Like we're not arguing that. We're just trying to make sure it's a fair election. And then also, I've been just asking this simple question: if you're arguing with me right now, are you trying to make the argument then that you believe that American elections are perfectly flawless and fair and there's never been fraud ever?
Right.
And if your answer is no, then you can't sit here and act like it's unreasonable to ask for a recount or to check into fraud. Now, the thing that if Donald Trump loses, this is the last thing, unless he has like another 2 months, I think, to be president. So he's gonna do some other shit before he leaves. If he didn't do anything, or even if you're on the other side and you don't believe he did anything for us, you got to admit that he did this one thing. He ensured that our future elections are going to be a little more scrutinized and have to be a little more transparent, probably way more transparent. And he did put a lot of focus on election fraud. I've never heard it talked about this much before.
It's all.
You know what I mean?
It's only talked about because of him. I got you.
Well, I'm just saying he's the one that brought it up, and he pointed it out. And then when election day came, there was a lot of weird, unexplainable things going on.
There's some like little clips of devious behavior with some paperwork that I've seen.
Yeah, there's the Sharpie thing that they were making people fill it out with Sharpies. That was a legit thing.
When 7,000 out of 107,000 were Biden found.
100% of votes that have been found are all Biden. There's no
mail-in Trump votes.
There's not one, and anybody could fact check me on this. There's not one unexplained thing that seems fraudulent about this election that doesn't favor Biden. There's not one that favors Trump. Seriously.
Yeah, I just said.
And it's just weird that they're so mad that he just wants a fair election. That's so weird to me. That in America, and again, the people that claim that they love democracy and they're fighting for it, fighting against fascism, are now being fascists again.
The people in power, y'all know who that be, did not want Trump in office, bro. He was doing whatever the fuck he wanted to do. And niggas was like, they had to deal with it. They had to get him out of there, bro. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was a screw job, kid.
Well, do you find this? I find this weird, right? I actually really like Donald Trump as the president. I like his policy. I could tell you why I like him, right? There's people that are arguing with me, right? Going, you're just playing the team game. And then I'm going like, no, I actually like the guy. And they go, well, look, I don't really like Biden. I just know he's not Trump. And I'm like, so I'm the... I actually like the guy and like his policies, but I'm the blind one here.
Yeah. You know anything about Biden's policies?
And in the comments right now, somebody tell me your favorite Biden policy, please. And I swear I'll look into it.
They have 47 years to pick from.
You didn't know his platinum plan was 42 pages long to Trump's 4-page long.
They pull it. It's literally Trump's name crossed out. Biden. JB.
JB.
What's it called? Lift every voice. No malarkey policy.
No malarkey.
I call mine the uranium plan.
Should be the Uranus plan.
We're going to call it the vibranium plan.
We're going to go to Wakanda, Slick. Come on.
Fuck going to Wakanda. We're going to build it right here in America.
Americana. Americana. Come on. Come on, man.
So, what do you guys think the country will look like with Joe Biden as president?
Wait, before we do that,
Yeah.
because real quick on the scrutinizing the elections, right?
Sure.
Well, one thing before I get to what I was gonna get to, they're live streaming vote counts now,
Okay.
and they're saying like, as long as they're fucking voting, there's just always a camera on, and you can go and watch it right now if you want to. I don't believe that's ever been done before, and I hear that's gonna be permanent from now on, just to create more transparency in our vote
That's
counting.
the power of the internet. Goddamn.
Yeah, power of Trump.
Power.
Thanks, Trump.
Thanks, Trump.
Thanks, Trump.
Even on his way out, he's fucking helping us. And then the way they reported it to us, because we were live and we were all a little confused. There's a lot of confusion going on, right? Especially when we started talking to people from, Alex Barber and Zach Banks, and we all just had different information. Even Wunda and me had different.
Yeah.
And what I realized, or what I heard, is that when they started calling these states, that was just people sort of guessing. The fucking media was kind of going like, yeah, it's looking like we're just going to call it for Arizona.
Can't do that, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They called, and I noticed this, and I think I said it on the stream, that they were calling states when they only had like 64% counted.
Isn't that the AP's job, though?
What do you mean?
The Associated Press? Isn't that their job to announce that shit and declare?
I think there's a number that like each state, it's almost like,
Is it like a mercy type of thing?
Yeah, like once you've got that number, it's like the electoral.
Right.
All right.
But it's not like
they
all
weren't-
of it-
They
all of it is
weren't even
closed.
waiting for it.
They weren't even counted.
Okay, I got
They
it.
had like 64% counted on like, I think, Wisconsin for a while, and they already declared it for Biden.
Yeah, they had 40 something to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you were to go like take Pennsylvania, if they were going by the same kind of idea, they should have been claimed Pennsylvania for Trump. But then Biden eventually overtook, if it's fair,
Right.
Biden eventually overtook him.
And then
so,
they called it for him.
yeah, so
Gotcha.
why did you do, like, they haven't even called Alaska yet for Trump.
Right.
The fuck are they waiting for?
Because they have to find everybody on Alaska, all 12 of them. They haven't found the 10th one yet, bruh.
I'm the Donald Trump of rap. Got my MAGA hat with plaits. And they mad they standing back, like they ain't having that in rap. Yet they got their kids strapped with gats. Got their baby mama stashing packs. And a bunch of addicts holding stacks. Nothing but a pharmaceutical ad. Yeah, whipping that chemical, you pumping fentanyl like you forget the law. Oh, what a spectacle. Adolescent boy thinking he's special cause he got a weapon charge. Where you expect to go? I'm no professional. Fuck the PC directional. I've heard enough intersectional preaching to know that it's best we just let it go.